Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Spotlight. Dave Weishaupt with you. I'm a huge fan of poker, and for me, there's no better place to play poker than BetMGM Poker. Whether it be online or in a poker room, I think they have some of the best cash games and tournaments around. And coming up, they're having something incredibly special because on June 6th, the BetMGM Poker Championship at Aria in Las Vegas kicks off. This is one of those huge events that every poker player should know about. And we're going to find out all about it because on the line, we have BetMGM Senior Manager of Poker Marketing, Will O'Connor. Will, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Appreciate being on the show, and I can't wait to tell you all about BetMGM Poker, what we're got going on in the Aria, and then what we do with the rest of the MGM Resorts properties and their portfolio of poker rooms, which are, as you kind of know, some of the best in the country. So can't wait to get into it. And like I said, thank you for the time.
Absolutely. Like I told you off air, I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and I'm always at the Borgata in Atlantic City. If I'm not there, I have BetMGM Poker app on my laptop, my phone, and my tablet. So I don't go anywhere without access to BetMGM Poker. But for people who aren't familiar with BetMGM Poker, give us a rundown of BetMGM Poker. Not only your presence online, but also what you do in the retail poker room world.
Yeah, so BetMGM Poker, I appreciate you not going anywhere without it. I don't either. In New Jersey, we have online poker. In Pennsylvania, we have online poker. And in Michigan, we have online poker. So to your national audience, we may not be hitting everyone, but BetMGM at large is a much larger entity. The sports product is across the country in over 25 states. But our poker team and our gaming team, small but mighty, like I said, operate in those 3 U.S. markets. Working to bring those markets together as we continue to develop, our team and our product. But you mentioned, Dave, the number one thing that we're kind of talking about here is the omni-channel aspect, the way that you can play online and win your way to these properties. Something that we've been building with our MGM partners. BetMGM works very, very closely across all of our products with our MGM partners. And for myself, as the poker marketing side of things, we have the best partners we could possibly ask for when it comes to Borgata, as you mentioned, when it comes to Aria and some of the other Las Vegas rooms. So what we're able to do, connecting our players, connecting our markets to these properties, the biggest events in poker, can't stress enough how important these partnerships are and how much they are still growing. We're just getting started. It's early days for myself at BetMGM. I've just been with the company 2+ years.
Okay.
BetMGM itself, really a newer brand within the poker space. You mentioned being in New Jersey. Borgata online poker, party poker online poker, prior to BetMGM brand being introduced, that's a decade plus of play for those players. BetMGM Poker lives on top of those 2 brands and those 2 skins. Players all play together. So this BetMGM Poker brand, the newer of the 3, the one we will be leading with, and the one that really kind of brought me to BetMGM. Like I said, 2+ years in the role, best job in the world. And the reason I'm here, bring the brand to life, create the best possible poker games and experiences, whether that's online or live. So really excited to get into what we're doing in that sense, but also can't stress enough how, great the team is and how important our partners are.
What has been striking to me following poker over the years is how connected online poker and live poker have become, and really no one does it better than BetMGM Poker. I mean, not only through your tournaments, but through your online qualifiers for live tournaments and poker rooms. I mean, recently I just interviewed Kelly DeSellis, who is the director of poker operations at Borgata, and it's just incredible how the online qualifiers was used for their live tournament, especially the Borgata Spring Poker Open. How important is the connection between online world and the live poker playing world? Because it seems like both of these aspects makes the game of poker, even better for a lot of players.
It does, and that's what our main goal is, to connect players online to the live events that, like I said, are some of the biggest and best in the country. When it comes to working with these properties, we kind of branch this all under an umbrella of omni-channel. And we have 3 main pillars that we're focused on. That's the player journey. That's the online registration and qualification that you mentioned, but it goes deeper than that. Promotions. Kelly DeSellis at Borgata, she's even given BetMGM Poker its own King of Poker event throughout the last 2 winter and spring poker opens that allow us to touch base, get player feedback, and also engage and promote not only what we're doing online during these given events and opens, but what we're doing in the future. So great brand awareness there. And to the large scale idea of linking online and live, it's so important. It's the reason why poker is truly as big as it is in the United States. I think everybody can kind of remember the poker boom, if you will. That all started because online poker connected itself to some of the biggest events in the world. It created characters, personalities, and eventually champions that are still some of the biggest names in the game. We're building towards that, and we are trying to put our players in the best situation to play the biggest events, the best events, at the best properties, which are, biased MGM properties here.
Well, speaking of the Borgata Spring Poker Open, I was down there to check it out, and the crowds were great. I mean, it's such a special place for poker players. Give us a little recap of the Borgata Spring Poker Open, because everyone I talked to was having fun and just loved the tournament. I mean, from playing on the online qualifiers all the way through the championship event, the players really enjoyed this tournament.
Yeah, so one of the great parts about the Spring Open was that we were able to learn a lot from the Winter Open. We started our online qualifiers and online registration earlier this year, giving players more opportunity to win their way in. And I think that helped, show itself once the action started at Borgata. Just some quick hits here, 22 events over the course of about 2.5 weeks. That's jam-packed with action every single day, over $4 million in prizes awarded. Over 3,500 players for their opening kickoff event, 900 for their mirror mystery, 700 for their championship. So players are packing the tables. Like you said, they're having fun. And one of the other really big things that we did for the Spring Open was we focused on content. We went very heavy on content. You were able to see YouTube and Twitch live streams of more or less a majority of the main event action. And I think that really resonates with players, because those that aren't there are able to see a little bit of what they're missing out on. And if we are able to, continue to push our omni-channel agenda and a lot of our content plans, I think we're going to see these Borgata events grow and grow and get bigger and bigger. And I will say the Borgata over the winter and the spring, it's back. It's back to what it was years ago before COVID kind of put a wrench in some plans. Borgata is back. It's back to being the beast of the East. And if you go up and down the Eastern Seaboard, Northeast, Midwest, even down to Florida, Borgata is back to running some of the biggest tournament series. And that's one of the reasons why they are one of the best partners we could ask for. So big credit to Kelly and the whole Borgata team. I can't wait until they start announcing some dates and some schedules for the next series, because BetMGM players are going to have a chance to win their way to those as well.
Now, as I said in the opening, the BetMGM Poker Championship is coming up. It starts live at the Aria on June 6th and runs through June 11th. And it does have online qualifiers, which we're going to talk about. But first, I want to ask you about the history of the tournament. I mean, it's only a few years old, but it's an incredible success, and it's something that poker players really look forward to every year.
Yeah, incredible success. And, shifting from our MGM relationship with Borgata on the East Coast to our MGM relationship with Aria in Vegas, again, could not ask for a better set of partners. This is the third year the BetMGM Poker Championship is running. Every single year, the guarantee has increased by $1 million. So in 2022, we had $1 million guarantee. We're all up to $3 million guaranteed. And the BetMGM Poker Championship is the main event of the Aria Poker Classic, which 45 events spanning from May 29th to July 13th, over 12 million guaranteed. And not only has the poker on site, on property increased and grown, but our online presence, what we're doing for online qualifiers, not only in the quantity of qualifiers that we are sending, but what we are sending these players to. We're trying to raise the bar, really bring this event even higher than it has in the past. This time around, players will be playing online to win Las Vegas poker packages worth $7,000. That includes a $3,500 championship tournament entry.
Wow.
Another smaller mystery bounty tournament entry. That's a tournament style and concept that every single player loves, because you can pick a big prize without even really making the money. It's one of those really fun, player-friendly, player-first events. And then when it comes to staying on property, experiencing everything that Vegas and MGM has to offer, we've increased our night stay to a 5-night stay, give players as much possible time and action in Vegas. And we're also providing some travel credits to get players out there. But biggest thing is raising that bar, providing more of an experience, a bigger package than ever before, leading to a bigger event ever before. And this is our third time working with Aria. This is our first time ever offering 2 separate packages to events in the summer. So you mentioned that championship event at the beginning of the summer on June 6th. Following that, as that event starts live in Vegas, online players in our U.S. markets will be able to win their way to Vegas towards the end of the summer as well. That package is a little bit on a smaller scale, but includes a 3-night stay, about $3,000 in poker play. And the goal is really to connect our player base to Vegas throughout the summer, because as you know, the summer in Vegas, that's, poker summer camp for a lot of players and a lot of people. And we want to give players the opportunity to get out there, play the biggest events, have an opportunity, like I said, to become a BetMGM Poker champion, all the way from, a $2 online qualifier. That's really, truly what dreams are made of.
Tell people out there where to go and play on the online qualifiers, because they are just incredible. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it. I said I'm in New Jersey. I can see it right on my computer, and these qualifiers are amazingly cheap to play. I mean, give some examples of how much they are. I mean, am I seeing this right? $2, $2 to play in a qualifier?
You are seeing it right. And what we are trying to do with these events, because I mentioned $3,500 buy-in, $3 million guarantee.
Yeah.
That creates a barrier to entry for most people, right? These are hardcore, high-stakes poker events. What we're trying to do with our online qualifiers is not just focus on that hardcore, high roller, high-stake player, if you will, but trickle it down to the rest of the player pool. So as you see on our clients in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, players can play. They can even go lower than $2. They can play free rolls
there's
every
a zero
single day by just depositing. They can deposit $10, get a free roll ticket for that day. Those free rolls award tickets to our various step qualifiers. And you mentioned $2. That would be our step 1. That advances players to a $10 event. You win that event, you advance to a $100 event. And then you're all the way to what we call our $600 Aria final. Those tournaments every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9:15 p.m. will award $7,000 Vegas packages. Not one, not two, not three, sometimes even maybe more than that. Check the poker client for some up-to-date guarantee lists there. It varies Tuesday, Thursday to Sunday. But what we're trying to do here is give every single player the opportunity to play for a spot to Vegas, play for a trip to Vegas, and play for what we think for some that aren't playing these big buy-ins every day, every week, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. A lot of the qualifiers over the last 2 years, I would say 50% or so, have never played an event this big. Some of them haven't even traveled to Vegas. So, yes, we are looking for poker champions and things like that. But for some of these players, just the idea of getting there is a dream in and of itself, and getting there is a dream come true. So really happy to offer it across the board. And I think what we've seen so far, we've been running our qualifiers since the 1st of May. Over 45 players have won their way to Vegas so far. Again, about half of those are players that are not playing big buy-in events regularly on our platform. These are players that are going to be brand new to this championship level poker. And that's a way to really bring the event up and bring the BetMGM brand to life for some of these players. So super excited to continue to offer throughout the month. Like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 9:15 p.m. Qualifiers of smaller scales, even free play tournaments earlier in the day, every day leading into that. So a lot of options and a lot of opportunity and value in these tournaments as well. So excited to see players get in over the next 2 weeks or so.
Now, looking at the BetMGM Poker app that I have on my computer, I see the Aria Depositor Satellite. Is that one of the events that you were just talking about, and how can people take advantage of that?
So, yes, that is. And that would be, the step zero, if we would kind of consider it before that $2 event. $10 deposit, any player makes that across our poker products. Immediately, automatically, you'll get issued a free roll ticket for that day's free roll event. And as I mentioned, each of those free rolls award $2,000 in tickets. That sends players to those $100 step threes, or even those $600 step 4 finals. And really what we're trying to do there is, one, give players an opportunity to capitalize on some of their normal everyday play. If you're an average player who's putting a deposit onto our site, you're going to be getting an extra prize and bonus on top of that. But also, again, tapping into players that are not regularly playing $100, $600 events, right? That's a very small percentage of our player pool online. And we want our players to be able to get in for almost nothing. We want our players to get in for as little as $10. And like I said, out of the 45 or so qualifiers we've had so far, about half or so have come from some of those step 0, step 1, step 2 paths, which in terms of how we can, promote these qualifiers and share some stories in the lead up to the event, really, really exciting stuff there.
Now, once people qualify for the BetMGM Poker Championship, give us an overall structure of what players will experience at the tournament when they start playing live at Aria, because as you said, there might be a lot of poker players who might not have experienced a big poker tournament like this.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why Aria is such a great partner, because they actually go out of their way to not only set up a meet and greet that is more, food, drink, and, hanging out and music, but also has a portion of that is a little bit of poker school. The first year that we went to Vegas in 2002, we looked at our player list and said, there's a lot of players that, like you said, may not be all that experienced. So we wanted to work with Aria to set up a little bit of a meet and greet, a little bit of a show and tell of how live poker operates at Aria. And I will say, in some past roles with some past companies, I've worked very closely with the Aria team. They are one of the best in the business. And the just the relationship that they create with players, whether they are new to the scene, whether they are experienced and known quantities in these bigger events. Aria does a fantastic job. So players, when they win, they'll arrive that first night, again, that meet and greet and, show and tell of how Aria puts on a poker tournament and how live poker at Aria is played. That's super helpful for players. But then before they step into that $3,500 championship, they'll have an opportunity to play a smaller buy-in event. And I say smaller, but I know that it might not sound it when I say $1,100 buy-in, but that is almost a little bit of our test run for players. If you've never been to a live event, if you've never played a big event like this, you can get the kinks out, get the nerves out in that $1,100 event, and hopefully come back the next day ready to take on the championship field. But the thing that I want to emphasize here is just that the ability of Aria to make this a great experience for every single player, whether you are, like I said, a high roller or somebody who's coming in fresh off the online $2 qualifier that has never played in a big event like this. Aria does a great job creating a positive experience for everybody.
Tell me about the guarantees again for the BetMGM Poker Championship, because I read the press release and I was like, my God, these guarantees are huge that BetMGM Poker is just offering. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a typo, but what are the guarantees for this tournament?
So the championship at Aria is going to be a $3 million guarantee. Like I mentioned, the first year we partnered with Aria in 2022, it was only a $1 million event. That guarantee was beat. In 2023, it increased to a $2 million guarantee, and we got almost $4 million in the prize pool, nearly doubled that prize pool. So we are always hungry, always trying to push the boundaries of our brand, and Aria has answered the call by raising this year's guarantee to $3 million for the BetMGM Poker Championship. This is a huge flag in the ground in Vegas for the summer. Mm-hmm. There's obviously the World Series of Poker that runs. There's a handful of other smaller series that run at poker rooms. And this $3 million guaranteed championship is going to be one of the biggest standalone events in Vegas this year. And the ability to run this at Aria with, like I said, one of the best teams in the business. I know that our players are going to not only have a great experience, but get a lot of value from a big buy-in, big prize pool event.
Now, you mentioned the Aria. From what I understand, the BetMGM Poker Championship is part of the bigger poker festival called the Aria Poker Classics, which begins late May and runs for 45 days. And I guess it includes something like 45 separate events with a whole bunch of different poker formats. And BetMGM Poker is the presenting sponsor for the Aria Poker Classic. It seems like if you're a poker player who likes to play in different types of games and different types of poker tournaments with different players and a whole bunch of different formats, this is basically poker heaven to you, isn't it? And BetMGM is capping it off with the championship.
Yeah, poker heaven is right. And Aria does a great job of not only offering a wide variety of games, but also a wide variety of buy-ins. There's obviously $3,500 championship that we mentioned, but across the 45-day series, 45 individual events ranging from buy-ins from $300 all the way up to that $3,500 price point. So as a competitor within the space, Aria has raised their profile over the last 3 years as well. This Aria Poker Classic, the scale of it was not as big 3 years ago, and I'm really, really happy to be a part of this. I'm happy BetMGM is the presenting sponsor of the entire series, because the entire series is going to be an opportunity for BetMGM to make some really great brand presence in Vegas when the rest of the poker community is there. So I hope that it's a opportunity for players that maybe are outside of our markets that we operate, who maybe haven't gotten to know BetMGM Poker. I hope that throughout the entire series, we're able to, show well along with Aria. And that's something that, I have I truly believe we will, because I have all the trust in the world of the Aria team that they will show well not only for Aria Poker, but for BetMGM Poker as well.
Now, one of the things that people can look forward to from the BetMGM Poker Championship at Aria is that you're streaming some of the events. Tell us about what you're streaming and where people can watch the streams of the Poker Championship.
Yeah, so this is another improvement of past years where for the first 2 years of this event, we partnered with Poker Go, the world's leading poker streaming service, to live stream the final tables of the 2022 and 2023 BetMGM Poker Championship. This year, we are going one step further, and we will be live streaming the entirety of day 3 of the BetMGM Poker Championship all the way down to the final table, and we will be live streaming the final table like we have in the past 2 years. Both of these live stream events will be happening at the Poker Go studio, which is attached to the Aria. And Poker Go, in terms of partners, again, one of the best we could work with. And when you incorporate the fact that we will also have some editorial and some media and reporting coverage from Poker.org, which is, again, one of the leading media companies in the game, I really, truly do think that it's easy to say there's going to be wall-to-wall coverage of the last 2 days of this event. And that's what players really, really want to see, not only as they play the event, it gives them more opportunity to get seen, but fans love that too. It gives them more of an ability to watch the action, follow their favorite players, follow their favorite qualifiers if they know them from home. So really excited to double down on our content plans at Aria. And this is actually directly related to Borgata because Kelly, for her Spring Poker Open, she made a really great executive decision in the midway point of the series to stream day 3 of her championship in full and then the final table. So for our content and social media teams, it was a fantastic test run. But for the Borgata players and Borgata poker fans, they got to see 2 full days of action. Players are going to be able to see the same thing in Vegas. So really excited to, across the board, raise our content profile. But working with Poker Go, working with Poker.org this summer, just added to the list of great partners that we're working with.
Remind everyone again, what are the dates of the MGM Poker Championship and where can people start signing up to play in the tournament?
The BetMGM Poker Championship runs from June 7th to June 11th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Aria Hotel Casino. And players are able to qualify online right now on BetMGM Poker in New Jersey, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Qualifiers run every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday to win your way to Vegas. Monday through Sunday, smaller step qualifiers are running to win your way to those bigger events. And in told, our goal is to send over 125 players or so. We're about a week and a half into qualifiers. We have 45 or so players that have won so far. So plenty more seats up for grabs, plenty more packages. And there's only one way and one place to win your way to Vegas, and that's BetMGM Poker.
Poker is having an absolutely amazing rebirth after the pandemic. I mean, live poker tournaments are seeing record crowds, and one of the hot topics nowadays is online poker, with several states looking to expand their, iGaming offerings. What do you see as the future of not only live poker, but also online poker? I mean, do you see more states jumping on the online poker bandwagon in the near future? And does BetMGM have plans for expansions for online poker in other states?
BetMGM does have plans, and I'll keep those a little bit close to the vest for now, but we have plans because we're always trying, we're always wanting to do more for our players. In terms of the live poker space, I think it's very, very, I'm very, very bullish, but I think it's also, you have to realize that there was a total break in the action, and there's a lot of factors at play to get live poker back up to, maybe the levels that it was pre-pandemic. Borgata, Kelly have done a fantastic job on the East Coast doing that, Vegas properties as well. And some of our other partners within the MGM space, within Detroit and at National Harbor as well, they've really, come out of the pandemic stronger and are building to get back to the levels that they were once at. In terms of the online side of things, I'm bullish. Like I said, I'm really excited about the possibilities for BetMGM Poker over the next few years. We are following the trends and following the news as closely as possible to know what our opportunities are. If we see opportunities, we are going to take them. If we have to make them ourselves, we will as well. But this is definitely a big part of growing our presence. Mentioned only being in 3 U.S. right now, and we're still doing so much. So, like I said, bullish. And if you give us a few more markets, we're going to give players more and more. So I'm really excited about the possibilities of that over the next few years and to be able to bring the BetMGM Poker to more players over time.
What can poker players look forward to from BetMGM Poker in the coming months? I mean, BetMGM always has incredible offerings for their players as well as amazing tournaments. I mean, what can players look forward to in the near future from BetMGM Poker?
Yeah, so mentioned the omni-channel side of things, all about making connections with players, with properties, and in poker's case, events. So MGM offers some of the best events. So mentioned BetMGM Poker Championship running through the summer, hoping to carry a lot of that omni-channel momentum. And that's a big goal of ours because the rest of the summer is full of opportunities for players. Unfortunately, nothing is set in stone dates-wise, but for National Harbor, as I mentioned, Borgata, even MGM Grand Detroit, historically have run events in the August-September timeframe. Like I said, nothing set in stone, but we'll continue to give our players opportunities to the biggest events at the best rooms in the country. So from an omni-channel perspective, it continues. And from a summer perspective online, our players that are not out in Vegas, they get to have some of the most fun that we ever have. So during the summer, past summers, we've connected with our sports teams and our casino teams to, one, connect our two products, but also connect some of our partnerships to poker. So these are some of our team and league partnerships, especially with Major League Baseball. Every July, we run an online tournament series called the Summer Classic that ties into baseball, taps into some of our team and league partners from Major League Baseball, and also taps our poker players into our sports market. Continuing throughout the summer, continuing to deliver tons of promotions and things like that are not related to anything Vegas, to anything online, because we are trying to give players a little bit of everything. So we're going to continue to push and continue to offer great things to our players all summer. Obviously, the second we have dates, the second we have information on what's next at any of our MGM partner properties, our players are going to know. Our players are going to have a chance to win their way there, like we have over the last year, just always wanting to provide an opportunity for our players to get to property. That's how we, keep this omni-channel circle flowing.
I have to tell you, one place that has a ton of information about BetMGM and your BetMGM Poker is your blog. I mean, tell us about that and where people can find that, because it's a great way to keep informed about upcoming events with BetMGM Poker.
Yeah, so the poker blog is a new feature for the BetMGM Poker brand. Really excited to have launched this. I cannot take any or maybe all of the credit, or I should say all or any of the credit. This is part of our content editorial SEO team that works very closely with the rest of our larger marketing team. This team has already built out a really expert sports blog. Poker was a very easy translation, and the team that has built this and launched this right ahead of the Spring Poker Open, this team has so much in store for the summer. I mentioned wall-to-wall coverage with Poker.org, with Poker Go during the summer. This BetMGM Poker Roar blog really gives us an opportunity to add to that coverage and to provide a space for our players to not only learn what's happening, but also learn a little bit about the game. So the team that's put that together, like I said, so happy to have them on board. And I think that this is just the beginning of some more content plays and some more content opportunities for the brand. But early days, the blog has only been up for a few weeks. But like I said, it launched ahead of that Spring Poker Open series at Borgata. Already have some great engagement, some great articles and things like that from our writers that are both internal and external. So can't thank that team enough, but also can't wait to see what it becomes after we have some more time to build and direct players there as well.
Will, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website so people can find out more about BetMGM Poker and the BetMGM Poker Championship and how to register for the tournament?
Yeah, if players are looking for more information about the BetMGM Poker Championship, they can go to betmgmpoker.com. As I mentioned, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday qualifiers are running in our U.S. markets. And if anybody wants information on how to register or pre-register for the BetMGM Poker Championship at Aria, can visit the Aria Poker website as well.
Will O'Connor, Senior Manager for Poker Marketing at BetMGM, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about the BetMGM Poker Championship at Aria happening June 6th through the 11th. It's a great poker tournament, and BetMGM Poker is just an incredible place to play for poker players everywhere. Please come back on and keep us updated about what's happening at BetMGM Poker. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and definitely will. Have a good summer, everybody.
That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.